Alright everyone, I'm back with my next SpongeBob review, and today, as you can see, I'm going to be reviewing Texas. What happens in this episode is that Sandy has a sense of place for her home, which is Texas, and is extremely homesick. She misses her home so much as she feels she doesn't belong in the underwater atmosphere, and decides to move back to Texas. SpongeBob and Patrick realize what's happening and have to convince Sandy to try and stay. The idea they get is to host a party that's Texas themed in order to try and get Sandy to stay in Bikini Bottom, as they think if they bring Texas to her, she will stay. But first they have to try and prevent her from moving and sway her to go to the party. They do this by insulting Texas. This causes Sandy to get mad, and she starts to chase them in an epic chasing scene where they have to run to the Krusty Krab whilst getting chased by Sandy. Once they manage to get to the Krusty Krab, Sandy sees the surprise that everyone has planned for her, and she realizes that the ultimate lesson is that home is a place where everyone cares about you, and she decides not to move and everything goes back to normal. Okay, so this episode is pretty good overall, as I think it has a good combination of humor while also having a good story that actually feels emotional. One thing that definitely sticks out in this episode is the song, as I think it truly shows how homesick Sandy really is about Texas, and it's a pretty good song all things considered. I think that there's almost no bad parts in this episode as well, except for when Patrick went a little too far with the insults, as I thought that part dragged on for a little bit, but other than that, I didn't have much to complain about this episode. I think that the humor also fits well into the episode as it helps tie in with the plot, as I thought that the jokes at the beginning of insulting Texas part were good before Patrick got carried away with it. And I also thought that the townspeople perception on what things such as barbecues and 10-gallon hats really were. I think that the plot is what makes this episode what it is, however, as I think that it's a really sweet story about Sandy wanting to move back, but then when everyone comes together to make sure she stays was a nice gesture. Overall, while this episode didn't have anything that made it stick out compared to other episodes, it still held up pretty well with a sweet story and well tied in humor, which is why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, putting it above Help Wanted but below Tea at the Tree Dome.